In the modern world, the Middle East stands at a crossroads. Global leaders today have the opportunity to lay the groundwork for a future defined by peace and justice. Such a future requires bold, decisive action that transcends the bounds of traditional politics. It is a call echoed not just by the citizens of the Middle East but by people across the globe who yearn for stability and security. The path to peace is not an easy one, but it is a path that must be walked by all nations with courage and resolve. The establishment of a nuclear weapons-free zone in the Middle East is not merely a strategic necessity, it is a moral imperative. This goal has been discussed extensively in international forums, yet it remains elusive due to geopolitical complexities. However, the potential benefits of such a zone are immense. It would decrease the likelihood of nuclear conflict, reduce regional tensions, and set a powerful precedent for other regions grappling with similar challenges. It is a project that requires the commitment of all global leaders to move from rhetoric to action. The urgency of the situation cannot be overstated. As tensions in the region continue to simmer, the risk of an inadvertent or deliberate nuclear exchange grows ever more real. The international community must unite in its efforts to promote disarmament and ensure that nuclear weapons are never used in conflict. It is essential that leaders act not for their own legacy, but for the legacy they leave for future generations. True leadership is demonstrated not in maintaining power, but in ensuring peace. The United Nations has taken steps in this direction, but the burden of implementation lies with individual nations. Leaders must engage in sincere dialogue, make concessions where necessary, and build trust through transparent and verifiable actions. Only then can a sustainable peace be realized. This is a call to action not just for statesmen and diplomats but for all who value human life and dignity. The world is watching and history will judge the choices made today. The issue of nuclear disarmament in the Middle East must be addressed with fairness and impartiality. Historically, the international community has been criticized for applying double standards in its approach to various global conflicts. These biases only serve to deepen mistrust and entrench divisions. A consistent and equitable approach is crucial in fostering genuine cooperation among nations. It is imperative that all countries, regardless of their power or influence, adhere to the same standards and commitments in the pursuit of disarmament. For progress to be made, it is essential to recognize and address the legitimate security concerns of all nations involved. Ensuring that no country feels marginalized or unfairly targeted is a key component in building a coalition of willing participants. This requires a delicate balance of diplomacy, where the unique needs and perspectives of each state are given due consideration. The goal is not to impose a one-size-fits-all solution, but to craft a framework that respects sovereignty while promoting collective security. Moreover, the role of international bodies such as the United Nations cannot be overstated. These organizations must work tirelessly to facilitate negotiations and provide platforms for dialogue. By acting as impartial mediators, they can help to bridge gaps and foster mutual understanding. It is through these channels that a sustainable and inclusive resolution can be achieved. The spirit of cooperation must extend beyond regional boundaries, embracing a global perspective that prioritizes peace over power. To this end, it is important for nations to actively participate in and support international treaties and conventions aimed at disarmament. By aligning national policies with global norms, countries can contribute to a safer and more stable world. This is not merely an idealistic vision, but a necessary step towards ensuring long-term security and prosperity for all. It is time to move beyond rhetoric and take concrete actions that reflect a genuine commitment to peace. The concept of a nuclear-free zone in the Middle East is not a new one, yet its realization remains a critical challenge. The establishment of such a zone would not only alleviate regional tensions, but also enhance global security. It is a vision that requires the support and cooperation of all regional players, as well as the backing of the international community. The stakes are high, but the potential rewards are even greater. A nuclear-free Middle East could serve as a beacon of hope and a model for other regions. The process of establishing this zone involves addressing a host of complex issues, including verification, compliance, and enforcement. These are not insurmountable obstacles, but they require innovative solutions and a willingness to collaborate. It is essential that all parties engage in good faith, demonstrating a genuine commitment to disarmament. By building trust and transparency, the region can move towards a future free from the threat of nuclear weapons. International cooperation is key to overcoming the challenges associated with disarmament. By pooling resources and expertise, countries can work together to develop robust mechanisms for verification and enforcement. This collaborative approach not only enhances security but also builds confidence among nations. The success of a nuclear-free zone in the Middle East would send a powerful message to the world that peace is possible through cooperation and dialogue. Ultimately, the goal of a nuclear-free Middle East aligns with broader global efforts towards disarmament. It reflects a shared responsibility to protect future generations from the horrors of nuclear conflict. The path is fraught with difficulties, but the potential benefits far outweigh the costs. It is a call to action for all nations to set aside differences and work together towards a common goal. The world stands on the brink of transformational change, and it is up to us to seize this moment. History offers valuable lessons that can guide our actions in the present. Ayatollah Khomeini's decision to redirect military funds to aid the poor is a powerful example of prioritizing human welfare over militaristic ambitions. This redirection of resources demonstrates how leaders can make choices that benefit their people and promote peace. Khomeini's actions emphasize the importance of investing in human development rather than perpetuating cycles of violence and conflict. It is a lesson that resonates today as we face the challenges of nuclear disarmament. In stark contrast, the actions of Saddam Hussein serve as a cautionary tale. His use of chemical weapons against both enemies and his own people highlights the devastating consequences of unchecked militarism and the pursuit of weapons of mass destruction. Hussein's legacy is a stark reminder of the human cost of conflict and the importance of adhering to international norms and treaties. The horrors of his regime underscore the urgent need for comprehensive disarmament efforts and robust international oversight. These historical examples illustrate the divergent paths that leaders can take. They highlight the choices that define legacies and the impact of those choices on global peace and security. By drawing on these lessons, today's leaders can chart a course towards a more peaceful and just future. It is a call to prioritize diplomacy over aggression, collaboration over competition, and humanity over hostility. The urgency of the moment calls for bold action and unwavering commitment to disarmament. By learning from the past, global leaders can forge a new path that prioritizes peace and security for all. This is not just an idealistic vision but a pragmatic necessity for ensuring the survival and prosperity of future generations. The time to act is now, and the responsibility rests with all of us to make a difference. The world is watching and history will judge our actions.